the index. So your denominator in your rational exponent is now the index. Now, would you agree that that b value has a numerator of 1? Okay, so b, can you see under the radical, the b has still a numerator, which is a power of 1. So example of that is underneath says 8 raised to the 1/3 power. Some of you can do this, okay, and some of you would need a calculator to do 8 raised to the 1/3 power. But if we were to rewrite it in radical, what's the index? 3. What is the power of your 8? What does 8 have? Your base is your 8. What power does the 8 have? 1, because the numerator is your 1. So over here I say for 1. So now, can you do the 3rd root of 8 easily? Yep, 3rd root of 8 is just simply 2. Okay, so this one, we have 2 blanks. Blank is the same as, so denominator. Oops. I need a pen. Denominator is the same as the index. Okay. The denominator is the same as your index. On the next screen, okay, we have a couple of boxes. It says b is your base to an exponent of m divided by n. What's your denominator? N. Is that still the index? Yes. What's your numerator? M. Where does that m go now that is rewritten in radicals? Exponent. You're right. It's the exponent of your base. So the numerator, okay, so there's 2 blanks right here. Blank is the same as the blank. We already took care of your denominator. So this first blank is numerator. Numerator is the same as your what? Exponent. Okay. So an example of this would be 27 raised to the 2/3 power. Some of you can do that in your head. Some of you would require a calculator. But if you can write it in radical form, then it's easier to simplify. So 3rd root of 27 square. By the way, if you don't have a calculator, please don't multiply 27 square and then simplify from there. If I were you, I would rewrite 27 times 27. From there, would you be able to calculate 3rd root of 27? What's 3rd root of 27? 3. So this would be 3, and then another 3rd root of 27 is also 3. Then that will allow us to get 9 as our answer. But if you're taking an exam or doing your homework and you can't have a calculator, is it wise to go 27 times 27 and then break it down again? No, you should never do that, okay? Start breaking down from 27. All right, let's do examples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe, all the way to 9. Okay? The instruction says, rewrite using radicals, then simplify if we can. 1, 64 to 1/3 power. You can't have a calculator. What would you do? First, rewrite as a radical. So what's your index? Okay, so 3rd root of 64. So that is a radical form. Then 64 is what times what? 8 times 8. I'm sorry, 3. So that's 8 times 8. Yes, no, maybe? Well, can I do 3rd root of 8? Sure. What's the root of 8? 2. So now now we know we can work it out slowly. And one of you were anxious to say 4. And the answer is 4. So the answer is 4. 2. How can we rewrite that as a radical? It's just simply, which index? 2, which is a square root. Do we write 2 if it's a square root? No. So box that up because we cannot simplify that. All right. 3. If you can't see that, by the way, it's 49 raised to the power of negative half. Oh, man. It's a negative half exponent. First, how do you make any negative exponent positive? Okay, so let's start with that. So 1 over what? 1 over 49 to the positive half. Okay. Well, can I rewrite that in radical? Because it said so. How would that look if we were to write in radical? What's your index? 1 over square root or third root? Square root of 49. Can we simplify that? Yeah. So what is your final answer? 1 over 7. Look at that. 1 over 7. All right. Now I have example 4 here. 4 and 5. I'm going to give your team 2 minutes head start to see how far you can go with 4 and 5. Again, if you can't see on 4, y'all, it's a negative 1/3 power, especially if you sit far back. At any time you have a negative exponent, where should we start? Making it what? Positive. And how do we make it positive? You move the entire thing. So in your team, talk about it. Some of you are done with 4 and 5 and work on 6. Wow, you guys are fast. That's okay. Just give it your best shot. We will go over the answer. What's the root of 1? 1. So it would just be 2. We can simplify that. Simplify that further. Make a positive exponent first. That's okay. Just write the first step. Make it positive exponent. So no. No. That's not how we make it a positive exponent. That's right. That's no. That's not how we do that. Kids, look at how we move. What did we do here? We move the entire thing to the bottom. We don't break them apart yet. To make it positive, we don't break it apart yet. Remember that. There you go. Yes. Now, yes, quantity. There you go. Now, write it as a radical. How do we do number 1?
I don't understand, because why can't you just do it how we usually do it?
How do we normally do it?
Like find where it's multiplied by, and I was doing that to see if I would get the same answer, and I don't understand.
Well, but 8 is not 4 times 4. I think that's your mistake. It's the same. It should be the same. Yeah. But 8 is 2 times 4.
So I would still be able to do that. And
you should always. Okay. Yep. Uh-huh. Because the rule said so, right? Just like this. You have 64 to the 1/3. What's your index? 3. So that's now 64 under the third root. Over here, what's your index? 2. That's the square root. That's right. So far you're doing a great job. Now write it in radical. What would be your index? Uh-huh. Big radical, yep. What goes under there? That's right. Now simplify that. All right. I think when I was walking around the classroom, pretty much all of us, okay, was able to do, was able to do this. To make the negative 1/3 power positive, you move the entire thing to the bottom. What is our index? 3. So now the entire thing is rewritten as radical. Well, you have two numbers under the radical. Can I separate them independently? Remember, is that okay to do? To break them apart, write two radicals. And then if they are separate, can I put them together? Yes, you can always put them together, only if the indexes are exactly the same. All right. So, is it possible for us to do third root of 1? Yes, it should be 1. What is third root of 8? That's right. This should be 1 divided by 1 over 2. Can I box that up ever? No. What would we do here? Rewrite it. 1 divided by 1 over. What do you do here? You do not cross multiply, but you multiply by its reciprocal. So our final answer should be 2. Whoa! That's okay. There's more ways. You're right. Okay, hold on.
I feel like you can do that earlier. Like get rid of the.
You can. Okay. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, that question right there, we were able to show a lot of steps to get to an answer of 2. Now, so far, we have done 2 questions already that has negative exponent. Would you guys agree? Okay. So if you look at this question, some of you said, well, can I do this? Okay. Would you agree if I were to do 1 divided by, here's the logic, if you have 1 divided by a fraction, that's identical to what? 1 divided by, in this case, 1 divided by a half. That is identical to what? Identical to what? 2, which is its what? It's reciprocal. Okay, so let me go back to number 3 really quickly. We have 1 divided by, can you see this? Square root of? Yeah. So, I mean, no, I'm sorry, that one didn't have 1 divided by. That one just had, well, actually it's the same concept, but we're going to talk about this one too. Would you agree then if, oh, let me get a different color pen so it stands out. Now, some of you said, can I go straight to this step? It's 1 over 8 to a negative 1/3 power. Could I go straight to 8 to a positive 1/3 power? Yes. Would that be okay? Would that give us the same exact answer? Yes, you can totally go here because some of you did remember that from Algebra 1. Okay, but if you don't remember that, then keep it consistent with the rest of your work. So how about number 3? If I want to go straight to a positive power over half, how would I rewrite that? 1 over 49. Why would that be the same? Because to go, can you guys see that? To go from a negative power to a positive power, you do what inside? It's reciprocal. What is the reciprocal of 49? 1 over 49. Is that always going to work? Yes. Okay. As long as you're mindful of that. All right. 5. X to the power over 1/7. What is your index? 7th. What's inside? What power? 1. So do I need to remember the 1? No. Now, 81. You have choices now. Do you want to write 1 over 81 to the positive 1/4? Okay, let's do that. 1 over 81 to the positive 1/4 power, which is 1 over 4th root of 81. Well, 81 is what times what? Yep, so I know it's 9 times 9. Well, 9 is what times what? Yep, so that's going to be 4th index of 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Final answer should be 1 over 3. Now, what if you guys want to go straight to positive 1/4 right away. What would be the inside number? 1 over what? 81. Is that the same thing? Fourth index of 1 divided by fourth index of 81. Is that identical? Yep. You do what you want to do. Okay. Whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. Now, they're just like any math question. Are there multiple ways to get to it? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Example 7. How do we rewrite this as radical? What's your index? 3. Okay. Ooh, you have a numerator. That's not a 1. What's your numerator? 2. Whoa. Should I multiply that out to get 64 and then break it back down? No, don't do that. Okay. Straight up from here, you should write 8 times 8. Should you know how to do third root of 8 by now? Yes, that's 2, and that's another 2. So your answer should be 4. 20. What's your numerator and what's your denominator? Numerator is 20 to the 20 to the third, to the second? Second. What's your index? 3. All over 2. Should we go and do 20 times 20 and then 400 and then break it back down? No. From here, write 20 just out twice. Okay. Then break the 20 down again to what? 20, break that down to, okay, what is it? 2s and 5. So would you agree that's 4 times 5 for each 20? So I get 2 sets. So far, so good. Then break the 4 down to what? 2s, okay? So remember, 2 times 2 times 5 times 2 times 2 times 5 all over 2. Can I simplify anything? Are there a set of triplets in there that we can take out? Yeah. So there are actually 4 what? 2s. Can we take all of them out? No, just one set, right? That means I get a 2 outside. What's left inside that we can multiply them together? 5 and 2 and 5, right? So 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 5 is now what? 50 all over what? Can I box that up? No. Simplify the 2's on the outsides only, right? So final answer is third root of what? 50. If I said put it in rational exponent, how would you go backwards? Ooh, extension. What would that be in rational exponent? 50 to what power? 1/3. I know, not beautiful. Go forward and backward. Okay, last question of today, and I'll let you loose. 9. 27 to the 1/3 times 27 to the 4/3.
Good morning, Oilers. I'm Chloe Pittner.
Exponents. How do we go from there to your radical form? What is your index? 3. This is 27 to what power? Whoa, are you going to sit here and multiply 27 times 27 times 27 times 27 times 27? No, probably not a good idea, right? But you know, third root of 27 is what? How many of those do we have? 5. So I just write 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. How many times? 5, because I got 5 27s. All right, 3 times 3 is what? 9. Now 9 times 9 is what? 81 times 3 is what? 243. Beautiful. Box it up.